What's happening, guys? It's Jeremy Blanton, and today I wanted to discuss with you the pros and cons of buying a new construction home here in the Myrtle Beach area. You know, right now they talk about inventory is so low that's out there, and finding a new property to purchase that's a resale, well, they're almost non-existent. In my development that I live, there used to be about 18 to 20 homes that were actively for sale in the market. I checked just earlier today, there's a total of 4. So with that very limited inventory of resales out there right now, what does that mean? People are turning towards new construction as an option for purchasing. Right now, I would say probably 6 or 8 of the deals that I have going are all for new builds that people are purchasing. And so people are buying these for several reasons. And today I want to take a moment and just share some of these pros and cons of buying the new builds and what you can expect if you're thinking about going that route. So let's jump into this. And the first one on the list that I want to discuss is kind of obvious that, hey, you're getting a brand new home. I don't know about you, but me, I get a little freaked out and weirded out at times when I think about buying a house that's used or someone else has already lived in. You know, they've slept in the rooms, they've used the house for whatever they've done, they've cooked on it, you know, and everything is just used. The house that we recently purchased, it was a resale home, but we went through it. We spent tons of money to get all the carpets replaced and all the flooring redone and get everything nice and neat to look like it was a new home. Well, if you're buying something that's a new build, you don't have to worry about any of that. You don't have to worry about, hey, did the person have a cat that sprayed on the carpets already? Did they put big scratches on the stove? You know, is the air conditioner old and gonna break down anytime soon? Everything is brand new. You're getting a house that is fresh, clean, everything is brand spanking new, shiny, and great right off the bat. In addition to that, brings up my second point, which I love to talk about, and that is the warranties. When you're buying something that is brand new construction, they come with all type of builder warranties. Usually they do something like what we call like a 1-2-10 or a 1-5-10, depending on who the builder is. What the first one is, the one is when you buy the home today, you basically have 12 months of what I kind of call like bumper to bumper, where basically anything that goes wrong in the house, you call the builder, they're gonna come out, they're gonna fix it. As long as it's something that you didn't create, you know, say a nail pops on the ceiling because of the tape getting hot and cold and contracting and expanding, and it cracks. You call the builder, they come out on month 11, they fix all of those drywall issues like that have taken place. If during the first year, your water heater stops working and you go to get a shower and you have cold water, you call them up, they come out and fix it. Then you have the next part, which some builders it's 2 years, some it's 3, some it's 5, just depending on who the builder is. But that is on like your major mechanical issues. So your heating and cooling systems. If something goes wrong with that, there's usually warranties in place where either it's fully covered or depending on the brand of the HVAC unit, it might even have a 10-year warranty that takes care of the parts or the labor where you only have to pay for the other part. And then of course, a lot of these builders also then give you the 10-year, which is on the structure. So if in year 7 you notice the back corner of your house, a crack in the foundation, and it starts to get wider and wider and wider, and it looks like the wall inside, you start to see the drywall starting to crack and all these different things happening, where maybe a part of your foundation is breaking loose, there's a warranty in place that'll cover it. Now, you're gonna see sometimes some hairline cracks happen in the foundation. They're gonna be small, but if that crack starts to go over a 1/4 inch or over a 1/2 inch in width, then you have something to start being concerned about and you reach back out to the builder. The warranty is gonna stay in place, they're gonna come out, they're gonna take care of it. Now, some of these builders, they're gonna allow you to transfer these warranties to other people. A lot of them though, they say, when you resell the home, the next person who comes in, they lose those warranties. They're voided at that point. But warranties is the second thing that I want to talk about as a big pro in going with a new build. The third thing that I want to talk about is lower insurance rates. When you're buying something that's a new build, new construction home, your homeowner's insurance is going to be significantly less than buying sometimes a used resale home. I actually took a moment today and went over in our office to our in-house insurance company. We insure, shout out to Terry B. She's awesome. If you need insurance stuff, she's been in some videos before here. You can shoot me a message. I can get you hooked up with her. But I asked her, I said, Terry, if I have the exact same home one that's in the neighborhood that's 15 years old and another one that is brand new, is there going to be a significant difference in the price for the insurance premium on those homes? And she said, yes, Jeremy, dramatically. She said, you can expect to pay probably about half if it's a new home, what you would pay for something that's 15 years old. A lot of that expense comes for the age of the roof. So if it's a new construction home or it's a home that has a new roof that's a resale, it's gonna save you a lot of money on the insurance. And the other thing that I should say is this. A lot of times I get people who say, well, Jeremy, I want to buy a manufactured home because it's affordable. Well, you can buy that manufactured home, but you're looking at probably 3 to 4 times the cost for insurance just on it being a manufactured home. So you might want to think all that through when you're thinking about buying a house and take some time to really figure out which is the best option for you. While yes, you might pay a little more for the home to have a stick-built home and get brand new, you can definitely save a lot in the long run having it be that over a manufactured home. The fourth big advantage that's out there right now that you need to take into consideration is that when you're buying a new build home with some of these larger builders like D.R. Horton or Lennar or Beazer or Pulte, you're going to get a better interest rate on your loan than you will if you go out and get it on a resale home. Right now, if you go and buy a home and you're getting a mortgage for it on a 30-year fixed rate, you're looking for the interest to be probably on a resale in the 7s, probably mid to high 7s right now with the way things are crazy. Hopefully by the end of the year, I should just say those rates are going to come back down. We're hoping and praying for it that things are going to kind of level out and come back to reality. But nevertheless, right now, you go buy a resale home, your interest rate's probably going to be in the mid 7s. If you were to go buy a new construction home that's your primary residence from like D.R. Horton, you can get that right now at an interest rate of about 5.75. That is a huge savings for you in the long run. So you buy a $350,000 house and you have a rate at 7% or 5.75, you can see how it can save you tons of money in the long run. So interest rates are definitely something to take into consideration as well. And the final big pro right now of buying a new construction home is the closing cost incentives that the builders are throwing at people. There are some huge incentives that these builders have right now to help incentivize you in buying from them instead of buying a resale home. They're giving away anywhere from $5,000 to, I did one the other day where their person is getting $20,000 towards closing costs. So is it gonna cost that much to purchase that home and all the costs for it? No. But what they will do is any excess money that is left over after the $20,000, they will use it to buy down the interest rate for the person. They're not with one of the big builders that's buying it with a higher, and so they're at a higher rate right now, like I was mentioning, in the 7s. But if they have an extra $10,000 to $15,000 to help buy down, they should be able to get it down at least into the low 6s, maybe even into the 5s as well. So the builders are out there right now giving those types of incentives to make you want to come buy a home with them versus buying the resale. Now, some resales might give you some money towards closing costs, but they're not going to be able to give you that much. I just did a contract the other day where it's the first one I've seen in a while where a seller's actually going to give the person $5,000 towards closing costs. It's very rare that I see it these days, but a few of them do happen from time to time, where when you go into the new build side, it is common to see on almost every single deal that's out there. You just usually have to use their lender and their attorney to do the closing, which honestly is not that big of a deal when it comes to the attorney. They actually have all the paperwork already there. They can do this title search is quicker and easier, and it usually ends up saving you a little bit of money in that route also. So incentives from the builders is definitely a huge pro as well. Now, let's talk about a few cons here, man. And honestly, there's not a whole lot that's out there. But there are definitely a couple things that you should think about before you go and sign the dotted line for the contract to purchase that new build. And the first one that I want to talk about is the money you need to put down. Depending on who the builder and the price of the house could make a huge determining factor in how much money you have to put out when the house is being built. If it's D.R. Horton right now, they're kind of doing everything in spec home mode, so it's simple. $5,000, the rest is due at closing, and you're done. So you put $5,000 in, wait the 6 to 8 weeks till the home is being finished, because they're not even selling the home until it's at basically a drywall stage. Put the $5,000 in, wait 6 to 8 weeks, and you close. Now, some of the other people right now that I'm working with, they're building a home from scratch. They went to a development, they picked the lot, they put the reservation down on it, waited till it came around, and then they've started to give all the parts and pieces to build the home. Till it is said and done, before the ground is even really broken on the house, they're going to have to put almost 20% down. Now, if you're buying a home that's $500,000 to $600,000, that's $100,000 to $120,000 coming out of your pocket that's sitting with that builder for maybe 4, 5, 6 months while your home is being built. Now, if it's what you want to have the ability to pick everything, that's what you're going to pay right now to do. And that's where you're getting all that preference, by putting the money down. So you could have to put a lot of money out of pocket, which sometimes is not my favorite thing to do. I like keeping the money in my account until I'm actually purchasing something. The second big con that I want to talk about, and that is that some of the homes that are being built right now, they're being thrown up really quick. And so sometimes I've had complaints from people saying the quality is not as good. Now, while that is true for some of the builders, it's not true for all of them. And the big thing that we need to pay attention to when picking the builder and picking the community that you want to build in is, what is their reputation? How is their warranty process after the fact? Are they really good about getting stuff fixed and taken care of? I had a new construction close this last week with one of the smaller local builders. And that builder said, oh yeah, we'll take care of getting the landscape all fixed up for the buyers before closing. Well, we showed up on the day of closing, and guess what? There were still weeds everywhere. There was still mulch everywhere. And he said, oh, well, they're not going to do those things. I said, no, you told me they were going to do it, and we expect it. Luckily, it only took about 24 to 36 hours, but the people got all the weeds pulled, got fresh new mulch put in, and the house now looks great and awesome for them. And so, yes, sometimes the quality might not be there, but if a builder has a good warranty product and stands behind their word, there's really not a lot to worry about there. And the final con that I want to talk about, and this one might be a big deal breaker for you, is this. You do realize that you're buying a home in a development where there's homes being built. And unfortunately, some of these developments, you're going to have a construction zone that's going to be there next door to you, around the corner from you, for maybe 6 months, maybe 6 years, maybe 10 years. It could be a long time depending on the development. And that means that you're going to constantly have dump trucks driving up and down the street. You're going to hear nail guns and compressors going off all day and night long at these properties. You're going to hear construction trucks driving down the street to pour concrete for the driveway across the street. That means that as you drive out of the development on a regular basis, you could end up with nails in your tires. I can't tell you how many times in the past few years I've had to go back to Sam's Club to get my tires plugged because I ran over a nail going through a new construction development. These are the type of struggles that you might run into living in that new build community. So it's something you definitely want to keep in place. So anyway, guys, I hope this gives you some good stuff to consider when it comes to new construction and buying that here in the Myrtle Beach area. If you're thinking about doing it, I should say this as well. It is still really important to have a buyer's agent on your side when buying it. Hire a realtor to do it. The builders are not going to give you any better discount if you come in with a realtor or with not. So get somebody who's on your side. That on-site agent that works there, well, they work for the builder. In fact, you'll find a sign if you look somewhere around in the office that says, agent on duty represents the seller or represents the builder. They're not going to do everything for you. So get somebody to be there working on your behalf. I'm more than happy to do it. I've done hundreds of new construction walkthroughs over the years. I know what to look for when I walk through the home, and I can be there to advocate for you to make sure that everything's done right at your home. The new construction I just did this last week, the air conditioner wasn't right. I advocated for my people and was able to get them a brand new system for their house. They were beyond ecstatic, and guess what? It didn't cost them a penny. So if you need help doing that, my information's down below. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, get that bell on, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.